everyone, welcome to the Polybag Pro blog again. Today we're going to go over tamper-evident security bags and specifically the 3 levels of bags or security you're likely to find out there in the market. Now if you're watching this on the blog, be sure to comment below, let me know what you think or any experiences you've had with tamper-evident security bags. Of course, if you're seeing this on YouTube, be sure to visit the blog at www.polybagpro.com. There's a lot of other really great useful information about polybags, the plastics industry, and then specifically as it relates to my experience as an account executive for Polypack America. So like I mentioned, there's 3 levels of security you're likely to come across as it relates to tamper-evident security bags. Low, medium, and high. Easy enough. Each level has certain attributes that give it that amount of security. The low, you're likely to find simplistic design, whereas the high security bags are going to be much more advanced, have much more features. Today I'm going to go over 3 stock bags that Polypack produces. We actually have our own brand of security bags called Armorite. They're really great, they look really cool. You're going to see a definite difference between the low all the way to the high level security bags. So the first one we'll go over is the low security bags, and we call this a cash transmittal bag. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. This is a 6x9 bag. One thing about the low security bags, they have a smaller seal than you're likely to find on any other security bag. So you peel off the liner strip, and you can see there. It's not much to it. It's pretty simplistic. It's one strip of adhesive. You're also going to see that it's clear. There is some writable surface. You can track basic information, the date, the register number, whoever handled it, and actually how much is in it. But again, if you put any money into it, it's going to be very visible. You'll notice on the side, if you look up close, that it's a single heat seal. So it's just a matter of clamping it down, sealing it. It can be cut into if a thief is really sophisticated and really wants to get inside this bag. So that is part of it being a low security bag. The print on the front's pretty basic. Most of it is so that someone else can write on it with a Sharpie. There's not much to that. And then at the bottom, you'll notice there's a perforation. So this is for easy access once it's been delivered to its specific location. Now, these bags are likely to be used at retail stores, restaurants, maybe when someone's closing out a cash register for their shift, and it's really only going to go with the manager to the bank or maybe into a safe. So it's not going to trade too many hands, too many untrusted hands or unknown hands. That's why it's a lower level security. You're not too worried about it falling into the wrong hands. Now, when we move to medium level security, things start to get quite different. Here's our Armorite night deposit bag. So as you can see, it's quite a bit different than the low security. And what you'll immediately notice is the graphics on the front. Now if I get really close, you'll see it's a mesh design. This is so that if anyone were to cut into the bag, then if they try to seal it back up, it's going to be really hard to match those mesh lines up together again. So it's going to be really evident that someone tried to get in there. The adhesive, you can see also, is much wider. It's thicker, so that when it's sealed, it's going to be much harder for someone to open it. It's opaque. You can't see through it. You put money, cash, jewelry, documents, whatever it may be into this bag, and once it's sealed, until it's open again, no one's going to know what there is on it. On the front, you'll also notice that it has a number here. Now, what's great about the Polypack Armorite bags is that they have sequential numberings, especially for the night deposit bag and our cash security bag, which I'll go over next. And you'll see it's on the bottom and then again at the top. And this is a receipt. So once you've filled it up, sealed it, then the giving party will keep a receipt and the receiving party will have the bag, and as you can tell, they're matching sequential numbers. And you'll know, the next bag off of this run would have been 245483. So they go in line. You can track your packages or your security bags much more easily with that. Going up close, you'll see the seal's a little bit different than the low security bag. This is called a wide seal. So you can kind of see it on there. It's a much wider seal, so that if someone were trying to get into it, they'd have a much harder time. They'd have to get really advanced, have to heat or melt the glue, or even try to freeze it to get in there. You're not simply going to be able to cut into it. And lastly, this bag has what's called fold over construction. So there's no perforation on there. So the dotted line, yes, absolutely, and that's where it should be cut. Tamper-evident security bag should always be open from the bottom, never from the side, never from the top. This way you know for sure it hasn't been tampered with. It's open as it should be. But medium level security, there's no perforation on it. So this is, again, the night deposit bag. We keep these as a stock item. You can actually order them on our e-store. But very different than the low security. Now, when we move one step up to our high security bags, this is the Armorite Cash Security Bag. So this is pretty much as high-tech as you're going to find out there. Again, you'll notice that there are the security graphics on the front, the mesh, so that if someone were to try to cut into it, it would be very hard for them to match things up again. This one is clear. They can, of course, be opaque if that's what your needs are. Polypack can make any kind of security bag and customize it as much as you need, so whatever your heart desires, we can make it. This stock item, though, is clear. This has what's called a mixed seal, so not only is it a wider seal, but there's a secondary seal along the bottom that makes it even harder for someone to get into, at least when going through the sides. Now this one, in addition to having sequential numbers, has a barcode, and this can be scanned. This bag is used a lot when companies have armored transport that comes and picks up the cash, the cash advance places, or major retailers that have a lot of cash transactions will use a bag like this. Again, it has the dotted line at the bottom, but there's no perforation. It's a fold over construction. And then one thing I'm sure you recognize is the seal is much different. Now, this is called a void seal. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate it so you understand what I mean. When this is closed, a void seal, what it does is you can look here, it's clear to begin with. But once you seal it, and if you try to open it, first of all, it's going to be very difficult. These adhesives are especially strong, at least compared with the single-use adhesives like you're going to see at the cash transmittal bag and the night deposit bag. And if I can even get this open, which is technically a good thing, but not what I'm trying to show you. So, look, I can't even get into it. It's ripping the bag. That's how good these kind of seals are. What's going to happen is it's called a void tape for a reason, because it's going to leave a void marker. It's going to leave half of it on the original seal and half of it on the actual bag, so that you know that someone's tried to get into this. Alright, we got to go about this another way. Got another one here just for this purpose. Now, another thing about the high-level security is that these tend to be a much thicker gauge. That, again, is so that someone can't puncture it, tear it, get into it easily, and it just adds that extra layer of protection. Alright, so let's try this again. So I undo this seal. There we go. So as you can see, it's leaving a void marker on the bag. Void. And then also the tape, you can see it's been ripped clear of that. So these are some of the more advanced features that you're going to find in security bags, whether it's from low to high security. Again, Polypack can customize security bags to your heart's desire. Make sure, if you are interested in tamper-evident security bags, to find a manufacturer that can do that, that can meet your needs and your exact attributes that are needed. For more information on tamper-evident security bags or poly bags, again, please be sure to visit the blog at www.polybagpro.com. Thanks.